welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 5-year review on the Stihl MS180. So as I said, this is a 5-year review. Let me tell you exactly what that means. I probably ran about maybe 10 cords in total with this thing. The first couple of years I used it to cut my grandparents' firewood quite a bit, and then I had a couple year period in there where I really just maybe cut a few small campfires or cooking fires worth of firewood with it. And then this last year, I used the saw as one of 2 saws and cut probably about 5 cords of wood with it. And then and that's this most recent firewood season, now we're just getting into the start of the next firewood season where I can actually go up into our mountains and cut firewood. And it's been a part of cutting about 2 cords already. So my wife primarily is using this saw now. The saw I'm using a lot more now is the MS251. I also have a Husqvarna 440E and a Stihl MS170. The Stihl MS170 is going to get compared to the MS180 here in the near future. So I feel like in order to review this saw fairly, you need to have some understanding of where I'm coming from with this machine. So I've been using this machine primarily for wood cutting. I went a little bit small because I didn't have my own wood stove. I was just cutting wood to help out my grandparents. So since I picked up the saw, I am now doing a little bit of a homestead, and I heat my house 99.9% of the time with fuel wood or firewood only. So this thing is cutting firewood for me. What it's cut mostly is probably a good 4-ish cords of mixed aspen, Doug fir, and ponderosa pine, and then also a lot of Siberian elm, incorrectly called Chinese elm quite often, and then some shaggy bark juniper and some other random stuff like railroad ties, a little bit of apple wood, pieces of cherry wood, anyway, things like that. I've done some other random wood cutting with it, which that stuff's almost irrelevant to this review. So it has been a firewood processing saw. Now, is it the best saw for that? I'm gonna just let you know right off the bat, I don't think so. If you're gonna get this saw, you're like, I'm gonna go cut all my own firewood and I'm gonna heat my house with firewood alone and I'm gonna do it all with the MS180. I'm gonna tell you that you probably can do it. The saw will do it. You're not going to wear it out too fast. You could probably do it. However, I think you would probably be happy spending a little bit more money on a bigger saw. I just probably wouldn't use this as your primary wood cutting saw. However, it will do the job. It just does it slower and maybe just not quite as good of a job as perhaps other bigger, more purpose-built for firewood, mostly in their engine side chainsaws. I think it would excel in like a homeowner storm cleanup saw or just a tree trimming saw. Probably, if you've got like some orchard, probably would make a pretty good orchard trimming saw if you're pretty serious about that kind of work. Just a little bit smaller, a little bit lower demand work than cutting up firewood all day long. So let's just start here at the bar and move on the way back. It comes with a 16-inch bar. I'm not going to provide all the specifications, just anything I know off the top of my head. They're easy to look up, and if you're really concerned about specifications anyway, then you'd be better off just going to Stihl's website and comparing saw to saw based on specifications. Originally, it comes with the Roll-O-Matic bar, the 16-inch bar that it comes with. You might notice I have some dogs here on the front. This saw did not come with any chainsaw dogs. I added these on later. People will argue whether or not those are necessary. I found them to be nice. If all you're doing is tree trimming, probably not necessary. If you're cutting firewood, nice to have. I like having them. You have a viewing port for your bar oil, which I almost never use. I find it easier just to open it up and look inside and get a much better idea of how much bar oil I have left in there. Just take your scrunch, turn this open, nice and easy, pop out the air filter, clean it out once in a while, replace it once in a while. Good access to the spark plug. I've had to get into that a couple of times when out wood cutting. Nice easy access. I like how easy it is. Just one little simple turn, pop it off, and get to working on the saw and then get back to work nice and quick. Starting procedure, I don't know if it's worth going over. Maybe I will just real quick. Push this down, pull the throttle up, push the switch all the way down to 3, pull usually about 3 times I think, and it'll start just for just a little bit. Then I just move it up to 2, pull it one more time, revs up real high, push the trigger, pops it up and into idle, and it'll run pretty good. I always like to warm up the saws a little bit before I use them. All the plastic that you see back here, 5 years on this thing, you know, no broken parts, no broken pieces. It's a Stihl chainsaw. Everybody buys Stihl for a reason. They're good quality. A little gasoline viewing window. I do use that one occasionally because it doesn't get as filthy as the bar oil side. The capacity of these tanks, they're a little small. Just kind of feels like you have to refill them quite often, but you know, that just kind of comes with the territory of a smaller saw. So to talk about the reliability of the MS180 real quick, it's been a pretty darn reliable saw. I haven't had to do any real work to it. No pull cord issues, no engine issues, not even any carburetor issues. Same original carb, never been rebuilt as the original one. One thing that helps with that is using ethanol-free fuel. But like I said, pretty much generally trouble-free. The only thing I've ever done with this thing is change out the bar, buy new chains, and put on the dogs that I can think of. So even though it's a homeowner saw and for some reason people get way up on their high horses about chainsaws, good little homeowner saw, very reliable, well built. Like I said, if you're trying to decide between one of these and a cheap one like a Poland Pro or like a Ryobi or something, or a Craftsman, you're gonna be far happier that you bought the Stihl, in my opinion. There's a reason Stihl can charge what they charge for these saws and people still pay for them. There's a reason they have the reputation that they do. This MS180 and Stihl in general is just gonna offer you a really high quality, generally trouble-free chainsaw. And so with that, the Stihl MS180, I would say comes highly recommended. In summary, it's a good, reliable chainsaw that's gonna do good work for you for a long time. Not the best firewood cutting saw out there, no doubt about that, but it is a good firewood cutting saw. Would make a great backup saw. Definitely recommend it if you're thinking about picking up the Stihl MS180. It's been a good saw, I'm happy to have it. 5 years later, just use good oil in it and make sure you do a good mix, what Stihl recommends, and just take care of it, treat it nice. Don't beat it up too bad, don't abuse it, and it'll probably keep you happy for quite a long time. Thanks everybody for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, helps out with the YouTube algorithms. Also, if you're not a subscriber, go down and click subscribe, whichever side it's on, and let me know in the comments below if you're going to pick up this saw and what you plan to use it for and what your thoughts are if you already own this chainsaw. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.